This scope is actually on location. Thank you for joining. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, everyone. Whew. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This isn't going to be long, hopefully, but I do have a testimony to share. Hi. Hi from Mobile, Alabama. Welcome. Thank you for joining and already releasing the hearts. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome, everyone. Sorry, no music today. We're going to talk about a blessing in disguise that happened for me this week. Thank you for inviting your followers and your friends. Hello from Charlotte, North Carolina. Welcome. I think the sun is kind of bright. I got it. We're good now. Yep, we're good now. Thank you, thank you. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining. So I want to talk about a blessing in disguise that happened this week. Hi from Jacksonville, North Carolina. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. So I came on today because I want to share a testimony of something that happened this week that was a blessing in disguise. But let me give you a little bit of background before I actually share what happened. So on Sunday, I called one of my brothers from Crusaders from Chicago called, and there's been a whole lot going on lately, like a whole lot. So been doing a lot of praying, been doing a lot of fasting, and I will encourage anyone in this season, make sure that you have a team of people that you can pull on, that will pray for you, that will intercede on your behalf, especially in this season, because a lot of people are in transition. A lot of people have, this is a season and a time of manifestation of a lot of blessings and a lot of promises that have been released over the years. So my encouragement to many of you is to make sure that you have some true prayer warriors in your corner and in your circle, and that they are people that you can truly trust, because you don't need people praying for you that you don't trust. But anyway, one of my brothers called me on Sunday. I was sharing with him everything that's been going on, because it has been quite the ride for the month of March. So anyway, he wanted to end the conversation in prayer, and I was like, perfect. So when he started to pray, most of the people that I'm connected to, if they're not prophets, they flow prophetically anyway. So he was praying prophetically. And one of those points that he made when he prayed was for God to expedite the blessings in this season. The word was expedite, and I just held on to that word. And he prayed for God to expedite the blessings. Now, for those of you who are in California, you know that I will be speaking at Life Builders Brea on this Saturday alongside Dr. Kathy Guerrero. So I ordered books so we could have books for me to be able to sign at the when I speak at Life Builders. So I noticed I hadn't had any communication from the publisher in regards to my books being delivered. So I sent an email asking about the status of my books on Sunday. So I got an email back saying, yes, your book order is fine. You should be receiving your tracking number tomorrow. If you don't get any emails from me, that means that everything is fine. So I was like, okay. But Monday came, and Monday was on its way out, and I still hadn't received any information regarding my tracking number. And I need these books for Life Builders. So on Tuesday, you go through your spam and you just delete everything. But when I did that, I saw that there were 2 emails that came about an order, and that order number looked like the order number for my books. So I had to go in and refresh and pull everything back from the junk mail. And I saw a separate email that said there was a problem in printing my books. And that they had to outsource the job to someone else. And I was just like, okay. So, and they were like, we'll ship your books tomorrow. So I was like, okay, are you going to accommodate me? Because I speak early on Saturday morning and I need my books. So they replied back, yes, they would accommodate. They would send the books next day air. And I was like, okay, cool. So later on Tuesday, Tuesday comes and I get an email from my website. And the email reads as follows. If you ordered about 50 copies of The Beauty of Holiness, I got them by mistake along with my order. I didn't want you to think that they were completely lost. I'll send them a note right away. I expect they'll want me to send them back to you or back to them, and then they'll send them to you, and that'll probably take a week or 2. But this is when it gets interesting. I couldn't help reading the jacket of your book, and then the dedication, then the foreword, and then the introduction. Now you've got me hooked. Now, mind you, when I was reading this, I thought that it was a gentleman that was writing. And he continues, I'll have to get a copy. I have 3 grown daughters and a niece who I'm sure will be blessed by your book. I love the natural versus the spiritual concept. If you didn't order the books, be glad to know that somebody bought 2 boxes. Blessings. So I was just like, wait, what just happened? So they messed up the order and they sent it to the wrong person. And that's fine. But this is when it gets interesting, because I self-published my book. So this means that people from any kind of background can write a book and get it published. But for the book to have been sent to a gentleman who in turn starts to read the book, that is amazing. But it actually gets even the more interesting, because I sent the gentleman an email thanking him for reaching out to me and letting me know that he had the books, and how I was just blessed to know that he was intrigued to open it, and now he's hooked on reading it. And I let him know that it's a blessing in disguise, because now 5 complete strangers got to learn about, or will learn about, the beauty of holiness. So then he wrote me back like an hour or 2 later, and this is what he said. Hi, I just heard from the publisher and they said to keep the books. So I will give everyone away. I'll take some to church and give them to the youth pastor. My wife and I have worked with middle and high school kids for years. My oldest son-in-law is a youth pastor in Virginia. I'll get him some too. I will pray for your seminar this weekend and get some others to pray as well. Girls desperately need to hear the wisdom and reassurance you are bringing, especially in this increasingly toxic culture. So now you know I'm all the way geeking up. I'm geeked right now because, first of all, again, as I said, I self-published my books. So these books could have went anywhere. Then most people only order 1 book, of which I ordered 50. So this man ended up with 50 copies of my book, and he's a believer. Not only is he a believer, he's worked in the school system, him and his wife, so they absolutely know what their pulse is on this culture. And the fact that he's going to give them to his youth pastor, his oldest son-in-law is a youth pastor. He's sending copies as well. Listen, this man could have got these books. When they told him to get rid of them, he could have thrown them away. He could have thrown them away. But the fact that he opened it, he read it, he loved it. I'm saying he, this isn't a woman. This is a gentleman. This is a father who has daughters who got intrigued with the cover that said the beauty of holiness. And now, I mean, even with that, he could have just given them to his daughters and he could have just given them to his niece. But no, this man is going to find 50 people who are complete strangers to me and bless them with the beauty of holiness. This has just blessed my soul. Evidently, someone in that region, in that territory, in that area needed to have the beauty of holiness. So if it took 50 copies of my book going to the wrong address, come on, really? Really? And then for him to want to share it, he could have thrown them all in the trash. But no, he's like, I'm going to give every book away. And it gets deeper. So then I reached out to the publishing company and I let them know that I received an email from a gentleman who received my books. And the response was, yes, we do understand that we made a mistake, but it's easier to have people just discard the books instead of just sending them back. Then they said, I'm surprised that they even reached out to you. Yeah, I'm going to let y'all let that one soak for a minute. So that means that sometimes when they have sent the wrong books to the wrong people, people just threw them away. But in my case, my books were directly, divinely destined and sent to a gentleman that I probably would have never met any other way. And his circle and his group and those who he has influence with, I probably would have never met any other way. And they are now receiving, or he's planting seeds in young people and places that I haven't even been. I had to share this because this is not a normal situation. This is a divine derailment that's going to bring, and I emailed him today. I was like, can I know what state you live in so I can know where the harvest is coming? This so blessed me because you never know how. Now, there's a scripture that I have been quoting since July 8th, 2012. And some of you may be wondering, why do I remember that date? Because that was my last Sunday being a member of Crusaders Church in Chicago, Illinois. And Apostle John preached from Psalms 71 and 21. And the sermon was talking about the greatness of God and God increasing your greatness, God increasing your favor, God adding weight and glory to your name. And Psalm 71 and 21 says, "Thou shalt increase my greatness and comfort me on every side." And this is a way of God. I mean, he gave me favor with an absolute stranger who opened my book, was intrigued, and could not put it down. This was a father. This was a husband. This is someone who worked in the school system and just was captured by the cover and then could not put the book down. If that's not showing how God can just put your name out there, if that's not showing how God can connect you with people without you having to do anything but being obedient, oh my gosh, 50 complete people. 50 strangers who I wouldn't have met in any other, I don't even know how, are now about to be connected to the beauty of holiness and be connected to me. Listen, when it is your season and when it is your time, you don't have to fight. You don't have to compete with anyone. All you have to do is stay obedient. Because when God increases your favor, when God says it's time for your name to be released in the atmosphere, when God says it's time for people to know who you are, you don't have to do anything but stay true to Him, stay true to His word, stay humble, stay pure, stay holy, and watch Him do what only He can do. Now, this might not be a big deal to other people, but I've never seen where 50 complete strangers just got blessed with your book by being sent to the wrong address. And this is just the beginning. Because even though the last few weeks have been crazy, and this week has had a little bit of craziness itself, my whole thing is I'm going to stay in my bubble. I'm going to stay in my bubble of joy. I'm going to stay in my bubble of peace. I'm going to stay in my bubble of expectation, and I will not let nothing or no one pull me out my bubble. That's where I am right now, because God is doing some amazing, amazing things, and I'm not going to let nobody pull me out my bubble. Because that's what the enemy wants to do. If I get upset, if I get angry, if I respond the wrong way, the enemy is always trying to get you on a technicality. That's what he does. He's trying to get you on a technicality. And last week, I don't remember the lady's name, but I saw something on Facebook where it was talking about how there are character tests that people have had to do. And with those character tests comes promotion. And I'm trying to pass all my character tests because I have been waiting patiently, at least trying to be patient, on the manifestation of certain blessings. And I'm not trying to get caught up on a technicality. I'm not trying to get caught up because I got angry, because I got upset, because I snapped at the wrong time, because I know what's coming is nothing small. This thing is massive, literally massive. I know it, and I have known it for years, and there is nothing or no one that is worth the promise that is headed my way. Because if he's touching strangers, he about to touch some people that I've known over the years that I haven't been in connection with. He's about to bring some of them back. And it's all he's doing. I'm not manipulating nothing. All I'm doing is praying. I've been fasting all week in preparation for Brea, because I know what God is about to do is about to be absolutely amazing. Because if he's connecting me with strangers, who else is he about to connect me with? I am lit. I am so excited about this season of my life. This just showed me how God can work a work that really? And then this man is a believer. He's a believer. Wrong mail go to a whole lot of places. And 50 books could have really ended up someplace else. But this is what he did, and I am in awe of him, and I just have great expectation on what else is to come. This is just the beginning of something. This is the beginning of an amazing season. That's all I can say. It's about to be absolutely amazing, and I am going to give him the glory all the way through it. For those of you who are in California, Again, I and Dr. Kathy Guerrero, we will be speaking at Life Builders seminars at 9 a.m. And I also have some more speaking engagements that are coming up because they're coming in. And I will keep you posted on those as well. For those of you, I think I got my first testimony about the beauty of holiness on my Facebook page this week. But I encourage those of you who have been blessed while reading the beauty of holiness to begin to share it with your family members, with your friends. Encourage them to get copies. For those of you who are friends with me on Facebook, I just posted my 3D book commercial. Feel free to share that on your Facebook page and with family and friends as well. This complete stranger said that this society, these young women need this book because of the toxic society that we live in. And if you believe that, you should share that with other young women and other women as well. And you can share it with men because he's reading the book. He is reading the book. I look forward to have more feedback with you all as far as other statements or testimonies that people are giving regarding the book. I am looking forward to more divine connections taking place within the days, the hours, the weeks, the months, and the years ahead. And I look forward to just continually being a blessing to so many people because he's just shown me how I can even be a blessing, how me being obedient has been a blessing to even strangers. And I think that that's something that, we live our lives and we don't realize how we can impact people, those who we know, and even those that we don't know. Our lives are not our own. Our obedience does not just bless us. Our obedience affects strangers. It's interesting. I taught last Friday night at Regency, and the subject that I taught on was the friends and the enemies of prophecy. And I talked about one thing that I shared with them was how Mary, when she said, "Be it unto me according to thy word," when the angel had finished sharing with her what the plan of God was for her life, her response was one of humility and one of obedience. But my question to the audience was, what happened if she would have said no? All of us would have been affected. And none of us know Mary. So her obedience affected us, and we were complete strangers to her, to her. And the same with our lives. Our obedience affects people for the positive and for the negative, depending on how we respond. So we want to make sure we obey because, first of all, we never know where that obedience can take us. That obedience can take us to the White House. That obedience can take us to the red carpet. That obedience can take us to the stock exchange. That obedience can take us to a Pulitzer Prize. That obedience can take us to a Nobel Peace Prize. We don't know where our obedience can take us, but we know it can take us somewhere. And we want it to take us to amazing places so that God can be glorified and that the fame of Jesus can be released across this earth. So I pray that this scope blessed you. For those of you who are following me consistently, I will actually be scoping on Saturday at Life Builders as we talk about beauty inside and out. I hope you all can join us. So that will be 9:30. I probably will be up around 9:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I hope you guys between 9:45 and 10 on Saturday. And I hope you guys can join me then. For those of you, if this is your first time on Periscope, my name is Mashani Allen. You can find out more about me by going to my website, www.mashaniallen.com. You can follow me on all social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. On Facebook, you can find me under Mashani Allen Author. I would love to join with you there. And for those of you who have been reading the book, if you can go to my website and post some comments and some feedbacks there, that would be absolutely awesome. And we've got some things coming up that I look forward to sharing with you soon. You all have a blessed, blessed, blessed week. Okay? Bye. Really? It's still going. Nope, that doesn't stop.